Hi budgeting friends, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about documenting my good midlife crisis as I travel through my 40s trying to get my poop in a group. I'm going to be focusing on my financial health, but I'm also going to do some videos about my mental and my physical health as well. I really hope that you will consider subscribing and coming along with me. I'd love to have you join me on my journey. Tonight I'm going to be closing out my first paycheck of February in the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck planner book, and you can see, not right now because it's not showing, but you will see that I was quite spendy, very spendy those last couple of weeks. So I'm actually going to end this with a negative instead of with a positive or with a zero balance, but it's okay, it will all even out in the wash. I normally don't close out my budget until the end of the month, but I'm trying something different this time. So this may not work, but we'll see. So my income, you can see, was exactly as planned. I brought in $1763.47. That it was a paycheck, that random Wells Fargo check that they sent me for $5, and then I've rolled over $50 from January. My bills were pretty much exactly what I thought they would be. There's like $1 less here and $5 more there, but pretty much they were the same. So it actually ended up being $2 less than I had thought it would be. So that was all evened out. Y'all, I'm sorry about the lighting. I don't know what to do with this lighting. It's dark here. It's like 8 o'clock, and I've never filmed at night in this room for this, and it's really, the shadows are crazy. Here is where I went crazy. I thought I would spend $530, and I spent $635, and most of that, you can see, is here in budgeting. I found some stickers from Life in Envelopes that I ordered because she had 20% off sale. One of my budgeters that I follow here, TLC Budget Mom, she opened an Etsy store, and she has this tracker. Y'all, let me show you this tracker. This tracker is so super cute, and I've been using it for the last 3 days to track, because I sit at a desk all day, so to remind myself to get up and to move around at least once an hour, and keeping track of the calories that I'm eating, and making sure I'm taking my meds, and different goals, and a verse of the day. I love that. So anyway, I bought that. And I bought, I don't know, pens, and y'all, I went a little crazy. But I am going to be creating a budgeting category in my budget going forward. And so this should all be accounted for, and it's not going to be this much a month. This was extra because I'm getting started on all of this, on the actual handwritten budget. I've been doing YNAB for a year and a half, but that's all electronic. I don't have to buy any supplies for that. So hopefully this will be much more under control. So I spent a total of $635.33 in my variable expenses this month. I went over on dining out because that's a problem for me. And groceries I went over, but that is because I am getting rid of fuelings. So fuelings were $156.80, but those are my last fuelings. I've canceled my Optavia plan and talked to my coach, and I'm going to finish up the ones that I have. This is in case you've missed my previous videos, this is, Optavia is a, I hate to say it's a diet. It's a plan that you follow with prepackaged food. So it's pretty much like a diet, but it's an entire lifestyle you have to commit to. And it does work very well. It's just very expensive, and I'm trying to make room in my budget to pay off all of my debt and to build an emergency fund this year. So I've decided to focus on that and try to cut out what I'm eating in other areas without spending $400 a month on these fuelings. So because I'm not doing all the fuelings, my grocery budget is going to go up, and you'll see when I do my YNAB budget tomorrow, or if you check out where I set up my projected income. Last weekend I did a video on this with my projected income for the check I get tomorrow. I'm upping my budget for groceries every month. First of all, groceries have gone up, and then also I'm not doing fueling, so I'm going to need more money in there. $16.23 is all I could put toward fun money. I had put $30, and then I pulled it out to cover other things, and then other things got out of control, and so it is what it is. It will be okay. It will all even out at the end. All of this was exactly what I thought it would be. I put money in my pet expenses, my new phone, my car maintenance, emergency fund, because I'm building an emergency fund, y'all. That is happening. I put $75 in gifts and giving. I put $100 in credit card interest. Now, these are not all spent yet. These are just what I put into there. So if you see that I have overspending in some areas, first of all, I had money already in my checking account, so it's okay. It covers it. Like I talked about in a previous video, I don't like to get my checking account to zero because I spent so many years going paycheck to paycheck with either zero or negative money in between checks that I like to leave a nice buffer. So I'm okay on that, and I know it'll even out at the end of the month. And then these technically are just sitting there. I'm not using these for anything right now. So I put them in the category for that, but I may have dipped into it in my actual checking account. I was able to send an extra $70.68 to Mission Lane for a total of $200 that I paid on that credit card. That is my primary credit card. I forgot that I have a wine membership. A friend of mine, for her birthday last year, but it was just in December, we went to Fredericksburg here in Texas, which if you're familiar with this area, Central Texas area, you've probably heard of Fredericksburg, and they have a lot of wineries. And so for her birthday, her husband booked us a private tour for these, a private bus that takes you around to the wineries, and then a hotel room in town. And so for her birthday, I bought her a bottle of wine and a tasting at the first winery that we went to. And it was actually cheaper to sign up for their subscription membership than to pay for her tasting and her bottle of wine and my bottle of wine. I got 3 bottles of wine. Well, I got 2 and she got 1. And then the 2 tastings, and it was cheaper. But you had to commit to 2. So my next one is coming up, and it's on this card. So I really have to get this card paid down so that can come out. And I'll budget for that in my next check. I did not budget for that when I did my planning because I forgot about it. And I actually don't even know what it's going to be. I'm going to have to check that out. I've tried to log in and I can't log in, so I'm going to have to call them tomorrow and see what the cost is going to be. But anyway, I was able to make that $200 payment to Mission Lane. And then my savings, I did put $53 in my 52-week savings, and then $23 for my app savings. This is part of the Budget Moms 2022 Savings Challenge, as I'm a member of that group. And now I'm writing all over this, making messes on my pretty paper. So you can see I was over $68.52, which is mostly going to be due to this budgeting. So if we go into my breakdown of where I spend all my money, I am keeping these separate this time. So for checking, so you can see I keep money in my checking account. I don't let that go to zero. But here we go. Here's what I spent. I spent in subscriptions $118.77. $646.20 for credit cards, $161.56 for groceries, $41.17 for giving. That was for a birthday card for a coworker. I am somehow unofficially the person who does the e-cards for everybody. I'm not sure. And then Nathan has been so super supportive of me, and he actually bought me, this arm is different from the one I was using when I recorded my last video. This one's much easier. I can see it better. I can make sure my record light is on, because if you watched my last video, the camera just kept stopping, and I don't know why. So I bought him some candy and stuff as a thank you. He really loves Skittles and gummy bears, and I bought literally the last bag of Skittles and the last bag of gummy bears at H-E-B. And then I sent my niece $20 for gas. Anyway, ecclesial expenses $100, just exactly as I budgeted, and then fund money $16.23. I phase 10. Oh my goodness, y'all. Let me get it. I don't know if anybody out there is a card player. This is upside down. But phase 10 is one of my favorite games, and the 40th anniversary edition came out this month on Treasure Truck, and so I had to buy it. I had to have it. Check it out. It's got little clips for recording what phase you're on. I got this on Amazon. If anybody's interested, I can link it if it's still available. I don't know if it was a one-time thing or not, but it was. Y'all, it stopped recording again, and I'm not sure where I was, so I'm going to pick up from the Venmo card, so I apologize. My Venmo card is where I do most of my purchases for groceries and dining out because of the percentage back. I get 3% back on my top category and 2% back on my second category, and then 1% back on everything else, and that varies from month to month. So if this month I spend more on groceries, which so far it looks like groceries is winning, then I'll get 3% back on this and 2% back on dining out. And then next month, if I spend more on dining out, they'll give me 3% back on dining out and 2% back on groceries. So I do try to keep this card paid off at 0. So you'll see I just made a payment today. And I put all of my groceries and dining out on here. So here is where I went to H-E-B. And if I split it because I have groceries, pets, and household all as separate categories in my budget. So household, this was hand soap. Pets, this is dog food. And I have to buy a 40-pound bag of dog food to last my dogs about a month. And typically Nathan and I would split this cost, but he was out of town this weekend, and we needed dog food, so I went and picked it up. But I'm going to put this into Splitwise, and then he'll pay me back, so it'll come off of what I pay in rent, so it evens out. And yes, and Girl Scout cookies, because those are vital. Even though I really haven't eaten very many because I'm trying to watch my calories. But, so what I ended up spending on this Venmo card is $144.15 in groceries, $133.85 in dining out, $26 in household, and $58 in pet food. So that's my Venmo card. And then my last page that I'm going to share is literally everything else. So if I have anything that comes out that is not on either my out of my checking account or it's not on my Venmo card, it goes onto this sheet. So like here's my Capital One. Most of my Amazon purchases are going to be on that. I went to Walmart. My niece, I took her out to dinner the other day, and we went to Chili's, and then Walmart is right in the parking lot. It's in the same parking lot. So we just went back to the gas station, and I filled her up her car and my own car, and I just used my Walmart card for that. TJ Maxx, I went to TJ Maxx, and I got some candles, and I got some dog treats for my poor Emmett, whose breath is rank. So I got him some breath dog treats. And I also ended up having to get shampoo and conditioner and face moisturizer, and I spent almost $40 on that, and I took it out of self-care, even though typically I would take that out of household. I didn't have enough in household, and I had budgeted extra in self-care this pay period, and so I just took it out of self-care. And then I also bought myself some perfume on Amazon, and this, I don't know, these come out like, this perfume is like twice a year, and this is like every couple of months, and the fact that it all hit at once, that's just the way life works, isn't it? So all total, I spent $212.74 on in my other accounts, and so those are all accounted for. So those are my spending total, and I just wrote this down. Like, this is literally just a piece of notebook paper where I wrote down my totals, because I'm not going to actually total anything until the end of the month. But I have spent $1,658.67 this month so far. But that is still less than what I brought in. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with progress that I'm making. That's all I have for y'all for tonight. I hope that you're having a fantastic evening wherever you are. And I hope that you will leave me a comment. Go ahead and like this. Leave me a comment and subscribe if this is interesting to you. If you'd like to follow my journey, I would really love to have you come along with me. Anyway, I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good night.